We all know someone who hates losing so much they just make up their own rules. Just as you're about to tag them, they suddenly claim they're standing on a safe zone or have an imaginary barrier protecting them. This behavior isn't new. Ancient Hindu mythology tells of a king who took this playground logic to a terrifying extreme. His name? Hiranyakashipu. He was a giant who had conquered every kingdom he could see. He demanded everyone, from the smallest farmer to the highest priest, worship him as a god. But the king was deeply afraid of one thing: losing his power. To stop that from ever happening, he went looking for a set of magical rules that would make him impossible to defeat. The king was eventually granted a special wish. He used it to build a wall of conditions around himself, designed so that no one could ever find a way to harm him. Look at his protection. He dictated he couldn't be killed during day or night, inside or outside. He added that no human and no animal could ever touch him. And finally, no physical weapon could harm his body. With those specific rules in place, the king was convinced he had created a perfect defense. He believed he had finally become truly invincible. While the king was loud and aggressive, his young son Prahlada was his exact opposite. He was small, gentle, and remarkably calm. Prahlada refused to worship his father. Instead, he spent his time chanting a simple prayer to Vishnu, the protector of the world. No matter how much the king yelled, the boy wouldn't stop. Furious, the king tried to get rid of his son by throwing him off a massive mountain cliff. But as the boy fell, he didn't scream. He kept his eyes closed, and a giant glowing leaf appeared to catch him midair. The king's brute force was failing. He was realizing that his son's quiet belief was a shield that his anger simply couldn't break. The king tried one more trap. He asked his sister Holika to help. She owned a special shawl that could never burn, so the king told her to wrap herself in it and sit in a massive bonfire while holding Prahlada. But as the fire roared, something unexpected happened. The shawl began to slip away from Holika. It drifted through the heat and settled over Prahlada, leaving him sitting calmly in the center of the flames while his aunt was consumed. This specific moment, the survival of the boy in the fire, is why people today celebrate the festival of Holi. This dense, colorful crowd is marking the anniversary of that victory. Millions of people throw these bright powders every year to remember that even in the middle of a fire, goodness has a way of lasting longer than cruelty. The king finally reached his breaking point. He dragged his son to a massive stone pillar in the palace, demanding to know if this protector was hiding inside the rock itself. Prahlada answered that yes, he was everywhere. Screaming in rage, the king swung his heavy sword and smashed the stone pillar with all his might. The pillar didn't just break, it burst open. Out of the dust stepped Narasimha. He had the muscular chest and arms of a man, but the fierce head and golden mane of a lion. The king had spent his life bullying everyone around him, but he was now standing face to face with a force that he couldn't intimidate. The king laughed, confident that his list of magic rules would still protect him. He reminded this new creature that he was supposedly untouchable. The timing was perfect. It was sunset, neither day nor night. Narasimha dragged him to the palace doorway, neither inside nor outside. Being part lion and part man, he wasn't human or animal, and instead of weapons, he used his natural claws. Every single one of the king's rules met a specific exception. With one final strike, his dark influence vanished in a flash of light. This victory was so important it was carved into stone centuries ago. The many arms of Narasimha in this ancient relief mark the tyrant's end. The story shows that when a bully thinks they've covered every angle and made every rule, they can't hide forever. Goodness and truth will always find a way through.